Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everyone. Uh, Today, our first session for the batch number 3, and today our main topic is the corporate tax. What does mean the corporate tax? Today, our first importance how to what is the corporate tax? Today, our main focus will be to make the base. Base means we are different background from accounting background, audit background, and any consultancy background. First, we have to understand what is the corporate tax. In terms of the short, we will understand the corporate tax. So this is the one line corporate tax. This is the corporate tax. UAE corporate tax. Who will pay? What is tax and when? So this is within 30 seconds. This tax is completed. But when we dive into these three dimensions, it will take the whole taxation. It will summarize the whole taxation. First, we have to learn who will pay because as a tax definition, as a corporate tax definition, we all first point is coming in our mind. We are saying, okay, all the businesses will come in the taxation. Then we say, okay, the businesses. Let me. The corporate tax, the first part, who will pay? This who will pay is the very important. That this is the starting point. This is the starting point. So when we come the city, if we say who will pay, the first question is coming. It will be applicable on whom. So we every in previous sessions and our understanding in the market, we are getting okay. All the entities are the companies. So the next question will ask, okay, who are the entities or companies? They're saying the trade license. Trade license. You think the company means who have the trade license. Whoever have the trade license, they are subject to they are subject to 9%. This is the very main point we are getting from the in the market or from the professional or from the when we dive into the corporate training. As a part of corporate training, we are different in organization, multinational organization where we are offering the corporate training. So this is the common question, is the feedback what we are getting. So what if I say even no trade license, if an activity is going on, without any trade license, is still subject to city. Corporate tax means as of now we are not discussing it will be on 0, it will be 9, or it will be exempt. So we are just the first part we are learning. It's not important to have the trade license, then it will be subject to the corporate tax. It's not important even we do not have the trade license, still we are subject to corporate tax. So far, any question? Any question? I would like to get the any message or any chat if you have any question over here. Why? Because here mostly this is the trade lessons, this is the no trade lessons, but both are to corporate tax.
Mhm.
So this is the reality. The point what we are discussing, who will pay tax? Okay. So now the basic fundamental or the basic myth in the market or in the profession, they're saying, okay, entity who have the trade license, they will pay the tax. Now we said, okay, even no trade license, they are subject to tax. Okay, the first part, who will pay, we understand taxable person. Now the exempt person, not exempt person. So this is the first part we are saying maybe it's a taxable person, maybe it's exempt person, maybe it's not exempt person. So to understand all this part, it will take the approximate 2 to 3 session. This is the important because if we want to apply the tax, first we have to understand who is the taxable person, under which article defining the taxable person. It is a taxable person or is exempt person or not exempt person. So the first part when we are saying who will pay, this is covered. Now again, if we go the next,
Yeah, I have one question, Can you hear
yes,
me?
please. Yeah,
If someone don't have the trade license, so how he will pay the tax? Like he is not a registered business, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So like how how it will happen, Like how he will be registered for the city because the for the city registration they need the trade license like this type of stuff, right? So and
Yes.
VAT certificate like this,
Then we call the non-resident. The word is another word is a non-resident.
Okay.
Okay. So now the point that you are highlighting the non-resident. Many, I'll give you, we'll come in the detail on this topic. The non-resident who's not uh, resident of the UAE. The company is not in UAE. I'll give you the example in Amazon, Noon,
Mm.
or Shopify, many e-commerce platform. They are selling the product in UAE like Noon. They're selling the product in the UAE. So when you place the order on the Noon, so supplier is appearing. So this supplier maybe is a UAE base, maybe is non-UAE base,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So this we call the non-resident. This is one of the basic example, but this is beyond that. This is beyond that.
Mhm.
If we just take the example of the VAT, so the companies who's non-resident, if they want to sell in the UAE, Amazon, known, they will ask register with the VAT, bring the VAT TRN. This is one of the common, and the even Saudi also is the same. If they want to operate over there, they will ask, okay, register over there. Of course, there is other regulation is there. So now, hope this point is the basic level is clarified. This is just the beginning. Of course, this topic will become in the detail. We will understand on that. Any other question? Thank you for your question. I appreciate your participation, your quiz, because the reason of the introduction, we are set of the professional from different industry background, from different practical experience, different, the qualification and different, the residential point of view also. So we have different connections, communities. So we will get the different technical queries, so all are welcome. So if anybody wish to ask any other question at this stage, please most welcome. Okay, the first part, what we said, who will pay, we just discussed. The second, what is the text? Okay, so what is the text? So this is means we are coming here, the which income. So here first we the filter may be the company or maybe it's not important. It's not important is always the company. Again, taxable person is the reason of the lessons I example I mentioned over there is not always the company. Even the natural person subject to tax. So again, all natural person will not subject to tax. The person who's doing the business, the another example that just now the question was the business activity. NP, natural person. If he's doing the natural person business activity, the business activity definition again is another concept of the law. So the law is covering all the businesses. The definition, any business activity, either is a legal person, either a natural person, either resident person, either non-resident person, they are conducting business in the UAE is subject to city. Hope the concept of the taxation is broader now. We are just assuming the basic theme, the only the trade license is subject to tax. I think so. Currently, we understand we have to focus on the business activity. If anybody conducting business activity, he may have trade license, he may not have the trade license. But here the word law is saying it require the trade license. It require the trade license. Business activity it may be doing the natural person, it may be doing by the I'll mention the company, and it may be doing by the joint partnership. So the law is focusing on business activity. Again, the definition of business activity law is defining. So here we are not discussing the trade license. The trade license is another compliance procedure. But the word is saying, okay, here we understand they have the trade license. Here also, maybe they have trade license, maybe they don't have the trade license. Here, the another word is saying the unincorporated partnership. So in natural person, the mostly people will say, okay, we don't have the trade license. The law is saying no trade license, then you think does not require trade license. The law is saying check with the relevant economic department whether this activity is requiring trade license or not requiring trade license. Law doesn't saying you have trade license. Law is saying is this activity is subject to trade license or no. If it is subject to trade license and you are doing business without trade license, still you are subject to city. Of course, the another part, the DD is also will come for the non-compliance. So now you are exposed to the risk of DD as well as FTA. Just So here you are exposing the risk factor to the two authorities. One is the economic department, another is the federal tax authority. So do not consider trade lessons starting point. Anyhow, now our next actually that we are focusing here. What is tax? Tax means on which income will be taxed. On which income will be taxed. If we're talking about on which income it will be taxed, which income? The next second point, what is taxed? So this is another major topic of the learning part where another, I believe the 40% of the whole taxation will be spent over there. 40 to 50% tax will focus over here. As earlier mentioned, there is a three main points. First, we are now on second. So if we start saying, okay, the business earn any income will be taxed. Okay. So that income have another category. What is another category? Taxable income, exempt income. So this is the basic two category, but if we talk about more, it will be another category also will be added. Let's what we are saying the taxable income. Let me add another couple of slides. So currently we are focusing on the what is taxed. So which means which income will be taxed. So now we are saying, okay, the one is the taxable income, just as a basic income. Here, the point is that what we're gonna learn that all income of the business is not subject to city. All income of the business is not subject to city, which means some will be taxable, some will be exempt, and some will be out of scope. So let's understand in three category. So now again, this scenario here again we have to understand the income part. All income is not subject to tax. That's the first point we understand over here. The first taxable, exempt, and anybody wish to give the example of the out of scope. Any participant can comment out of scope. Okay, I believe the basic point of the what is tax we understand. Now we will dive. Okay, today we are preparing our base, all the main area, the topic we are discussing for our understanding. Because now, one by one, we will dive into taxable income itself. It will take 1 to 2 sessions. The taxable income, same exempt income, 2 to 3 sessions it will take. Out of scope, similar 2 to 3 sessions it will take. So let's come back on our agenda. So next is saying the when. What is the point is saying when? So when means the tax period. The tax period, when referring to the tax period, what is tax mean? The income that we already understand here. Who we already understand over here. So now this is coming. Here some chat point is there. Let's understand the chat. Okay. Thank you, Sakib. See, first of all, welcome you take the participation, and now just let me know all the participant. If you unmute yourself, you can unmute yourself, because while continue the topic, maybe I'm not able to see the chat. I have to stop and look into that. But if you unmute and let me know your question, that will be much appreciated. So anyhow, I'll try to look into that. Okay, now we are focusing on the when. When means tax period. This also we're gonna discuss that. The tax period. This is our third point. The third point means when. So this when again depends natural person or juridical person. Here natural person throughout we will call the NP, and here we call the JP. Yes. So the natural person, they have different tax period. Juridical person have different tax period. Anybody wish to comment on that? What is the tax period for the natural person? What is the tax period for the natural person? I appreciate your active participation and response. Is not important you will give the correct answer. The important is that you are active and you are focusing and giving your thought. Okay, whatever the thought.
So
Natural
it will
person,
remain the same.
yeah, natural person is any individual.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so Amir is that yeah.
So the natural person tax period is every 12 months, consecutive 12 months.
Okay, we take the one of your point, and we have the other participant also. Noman Shahid is saying Jan to December. Amir is saying the calendar year. Yeah,
I
please.
think natural person tax period is from January to December.
Sorry, I did not get you.
I think natural person tax period is from January to December.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the natural person, we will look into that. Natural person, they call the Gregorian calendar year. Gregorian calendar year. So that is Jan to December. Law is defined about Gregorian calendar year. Every natural person. Now, I'm not seeing the trade lessons. By purpose, I'm not mentioning the trade lessons because I already earlier explained. Do not look the standalone the trade lessons. Trade lessons you have to look along with other associated regulation. The natural person may have the trade lessons also. Natural person may have the trade lessons also or may not have the trade lessons also. We will come into the detail also because these are the common points where being a accounting profession, audit profession, we have limited, the interaction. Because the company is formed one time and we, during the normal course of activity, we haven't dive into that. We not needed to look into that. So that's why maybe we are not familiar the concept of here. We are talking about the commercial aspect. Now, if I talk about when we talk about the DD, so which means UAE commercial law. What is the UAE commercial law? What is the UAE commercial law? If anybody wish to answer on that. This is also very important throughout the taxation. Is the very important whenever we take the call. If we haven't focused on the UAE commercial law understanding, maybe our decision point is not correct. I'm saying maybe not correct. Why? Because it depends, not always. It depends what is the scenario. What is the scenario based on that? So anybody wish to highlight what is the UAE commercial law? Appreciate your quick chat on that, quick comment on that.
The UE commercial law basically governs the trade licensing. So it says if you are doing any activity repeatedly which is giving you or you are earning something, so you need to have a proper trade license under UE commercial law.
That's fine. That's fine. Sakib, corporate law. Thank you. Okay, very well. Just now, one of our participant he explained on that, but this is let me explain in more detail. The UAE commercial law. So all over the world, the companies are established based on the company law. Company law. If we are very much familiar, maybe in own countries, resident countries. So based on that, the company will be registered. Company will be registered with the authorities. Authority name may be any. Here we are calling DED, but any authority. Each country they given different names. So they call the commercial register. They might call the CR, commercial register. Okay. Commercial register in the UK is also the same commercial registration. So in the other part of the world also is the same commercial register. So how it will be registered here? How it will be registered over here? We may be familiar word of MOA, Memorandum of Association or article. Sometimes they combine, sometimes they have the two different document. Memorandum of article, memorandum of, article of association. So commonly we are familiar MOA. Commonly we are familiar with the MOA. So the MOA definition is that if any company register with the company law, the commercial law of the country, so they must have the CR, commercial registration, and the memorandum in which, what is the memorandum? In which define many things, but I will share the ownership. Okay. The profitability, sharing. Here the percentage, ownership percentage, profit sharing percentage. So these are the two common factors. All the organization they will mention. Another point is the Here I'm writing the capital / share capital. So the ownership, mostly you are familiar. Profit sharing ratio, mostly you are familiar. What is the capital and the share capital? Anybody would like to highlight over here? What is the difference between capital and the share capital? Anybody would like to comment on that? What is the capital and the share capital?
Capital is the initial investment in the business, and the share capital can be the number of share multiplied by number of the share price.
Thank you. Anybody else? There is a difference. I wish to know the difference because both are different terms. Under the same umbrella, both are the different terms.
No, capital is in the partnership or the whole ownership investment, and but the share capital is in the private limited company like this type of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's understand. See, the share means if the company issued share capital, we are saying the issued share capital. We might familiar with the equity also. So issued share capital, normally we seen the share capital in the financial under the LLC companies, In some companies, there will be word additional capital. Additional capital. They will, in financial statement, it will be written share capital and separately written share capital as well. The difference is that this issued share capital, the word if you write the issued share capital is equity, it cannot be changed. Normally we see in the 500K, it depends 100K, 200K, 300K, it will remain same. Because this is as per the company law, we decided and mention here the share capital will be 500K and ownership in this will be if two partner 50-50 and the profit ratio may be again here the profit ratio may be 50-50, maybe 80-20. Even they given the same capital, but profit sharing ratio may be 80-20, whatever they decided and agreed in the memorandum of association. The difference is that additional capital owner can inject into the company as in the form of loan or in the form of working capital to run the operation. But at certain point of time, it might take out that cash also. Additional capital in normal course of action to run the operation, the owner injecting into the business. And if after 6 months, 1 year, whenever they feel they can take out. But the issued share capital, they cannot take out. The major difference, they cannot take out. When it will be taken out upon liquidation. Upon liquidation. Additional capital, anytime you can inject and anytime you can withdraw. This is the support of working capital or any normal course of action they are giving. And normally if another point of additional capital, if I give you, this is the loan to the company by the owner. This another point will be pop up as a transfer pricing perspective also. Transfer pricing perspective also, additional capital, what will be? Loan to the company. anyhow, once we reach on that, we will see into that. So here we are saying it loan to the company, but again, there will be certain criteria. We have to look into that. Then we will come on that, the transfer pricing point of view. Okay, so now I believe the basic, as of now, the UAE commercial law is June 2022 or 21. Okay, the latest amendment, because the law is 2015 was amended, then 2022 is also amended in June 2022. Why? Because there was certain legislation or certain terms, because they have to issue the corporate tax or the implement the corporate tax, that was the contradiction. There was some certain laws or their wording or they are contradicting with the corporate tax law. So they amend on that. So I'll give you one of the example. Let me give you one of the example. Tax group. And the tax group are the different groups. If we talk about the VAT group is a different. The word tax group is a different. Here, if I write the corporate tax group, what is the corporate tax group? One of the condition is 95% shareholding. 95% shareholding or control, directly or indirectly. So the statutory reserve, what was the previous condition is 10% of the profit will be, of every year profit, 10% will be transferred to statutory reserve. Have you seen this point? Anybody familiar with the statutory reserve part? And the financial, if you come across with certain thing?
Yes, sir, I came across many times, but it is like mandatory to put the 10% profit every year in the statutory reserves.
Yes, yes, please, thank you. And if we're saying up to 50%, but 10% every year. But now this 10% is not anymore 10%. This 10% is not anymore 10%. It will become 5%. It will become 5%. Why? Because here we are saying if you want to make the tax group directly or indirectly, the control or the is not only the ownership, they are associated with the control also. Ownership and plus control. Control mean you are not getting the, if here you are not getting the 95%, it will be 90%. To align with that, they said, okay, now it will be 5%. Now it's aligning with this. Ownership control is aligning with the definition of the tax group. So this is the one of point, but there is a many in terms of laws. If you look in download even the VAT law 2018 and now download from FTA portal, you will see the many changes are there. On the first page, if you see issued on, let's say in 2018, issued on 2022, issued on 2022, issued on 2024. So what does that mean? The same law you are downloading, but it's updated up to this date. Updated up to this date. What does mean? Means they change only the word maybe is, are, okay, are both, even the small wording, you might download and check any terms, it may be small wording change. What that mean? Because the law is covering comprehensively all the areas wherever the loophole is left. Now they're realigning the wording, redefining the wording to cover that loophole as well. We are very much familiar in the any court cases, even in terms of the this VAT cases also they learned, because in case of non-compliance, the FTA raised the audit and they put the penalty on the taxable person. Matter went to the court, and the taxable person lawyer, okay, the taxable person here's the FTA. In the court, this legal person, they justify the law is saying A, B, C, versus FTA saying this is saying X, Y, Z. This lawyer, through the law wording, they justify they are correct. So eventually, FTA have to acknowledge or follow the court case to, because that wording have some loopholes, so they keep modifying, keep changing that regulation as well. Okay, now come back. We were on that VAT text group. I believe we understand the text group. Yeah, our point was the when. Accounting period. What is the difference between the accounting period and tax period? What is the difference? And from where we can get this accounting period and the tax period? How we know in terms of the company, I'm using the word of company or entity. But if I talk about the taxation point of view, I will say juridical person. Anybody would like to highlight?
The accounting period would be can be seen on MOA, and at the time of trade license renewal or registration, we put the accounting period there. Tax period most probably is same only. It can be different if international or something. I'm not sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, very rightly you mentioned over that. Accounting period as per the commercial law, defining when you're signing the company MOA, you are itself defining in UAE there is no binding. You will follow any Jan to December or June to July, no binding. You choose yourself and take any accounting period. Okay. But when we come to the tax period, tax period as per tax law. As per tax law. This is the as per commercial law. This is as per tax law. Both laws are different. Commercial law, company is formed. Tax law is the additional regulation in the UAE that applied by the. So we are maybe as part of the ACCA. I'm also from ACCA. Some other participant from ACCA, and even the other professional qualification. they are familiar in their own during the professional study also. In UK, I'll take the example of the UK. And another part of the world also is the tax period and the accounting period not same. The concept is the basis period, tax basis period. Tax basis period, because if both periods are different, then we are working on the tax basis period to align that working, because we are closing books on different date and the tax calculation we're doing on the different date. The concept of the tax basis period, so we are normally prepare the basis period for that reason. But in UAE, they said both are same. Whatever your accounting period as a juridical person, it will be your tax period. So this law relaxation, they given the relief to the organization to avoid this tax basis calculation. So they said whatever your accounting period, keep the same as a tax period. So now we have to check the tax period or the accounting period from the MOA. And we've seen in the market many organization is choose wrongly. Choose wrongly. Why? Because in beginning we are just discussing the natural person tax period, that is Gregorian calendar year. So they all selected the Jan to December. This is the around 15% in the market we seen the incident. Why this incident came? The person who's did the registration maybe is not fully go through the regulation. He's seen only one part, Gregorian calendar year, and he applied over that. Many people did correctly also. 10 to 15% this error is remain. And this error, even they submit the return also. Because the small or this even the company's turnover is less than 10 million. Let's say the less than 10 million. Companies turnover less than 10 million. $10 million AD. They normally do not allocate the budget to consult with the external consultant, and the accounting team they have, they normally are the bookkeeper. So they rely on that. They don't want to pay somebody else, and they don't want to hire that even the accountant. I'm saying the bookkeeper. So such error is come up. Why? Due to budget. So such error we seen in this segment of the market. This is not the mistake of this person. This is not the mistake of this person. He did as per his understanding correct. Or even another part, what they are doing, they're going to the typing center and they're saying, okay, I want to register for corporate tax. So the person in typing center, he registered because he did the typing. He is not the legal person. What's happening? Just whatever he knows, he just register because the company is saying, I want to register. The point I was highlighting here, the person here saying register. What the register get the TRN. But there is a difference between registration and the correct registration are the compliant registration. So if we are not familiar, the correct registration are complied registration. Compliant means as per regulation applicable on the organization, on the taxable person who's we going to register. Taxable person whom we are applying for the TRN. So this is the basic difference that we nobody following. It's not only registration. In terms of the city return, again the same issue. The same mechanism they follow. The same mechanism they follow. What they're saying, submit the return. Submit the return. But there is a difference. Even you give to any kid who can operate the let's say the computer, or who can play the game. For him is a game. He keep hitting hit and trial until unless it's close. Return is submitted because his task is to submit the return. He don't know the wording, he don't know the regulation, he don't know how to apply. He will do yes or no. Okay, it's moving forward, no. Okay, change. Earlier we made yes, now make no. It's moving, yes, fine. Now he's concerned to reach till the closing. He don't know what are these terms. The expectation from that accounting team or that typist is not their mistake. The person who's expecting from them, he is doing the mistake. Anyhow, we have the three main points. Hope we discuss the first point. We discuss the second point. We discuss the third point. Any question, please? So far, any question, please?